Just prior to a recent dramatic performance at East Cranston High School, students were warned about being behaved. Once the show started, it seemed entirely unnecessary. This play had their full attention.
We use theater as the way in. It's our way of connecting with people about a topic that feels untouchable sometimes.
The topic is addiction. For the play's creator and director, Anna Bess Moyer-Bell, it's also a topic that's personal.
I lost my high school sweetheart in 2012 to a heroin overdose, and I thought that to be an isolated incident. And then when I was going to grad school at NYU for drama therapy, I had 3 friends die in 3 months.
Adding to these tragedies for Moyer-Bell was the way her small town of South Kingstown, Rhode Island dealt with them, or didn't.
Even though we were deeply grieving, we weren't actually talking about what was happening. It wasn't written in their obituaries. It wasn't talked about at the funerals. We didn't really talk about it afterwards. It was just kind of this hidden thing that was right underneath the surface that nobody was addressing. And I thought about how I could use performance and theater to address what was going on and try to heal my community and really just start a conversation.
Moyer-Bell did that in 2016 by first starting COAST, creating outreach about addiction support together. It's a Rhode Island nonprofit that uses theater to help that most difficult discussion happen.
It's been 2 years now, and I still have people that say, this is the first time I've actually been able to have a conversation in public about my son's death, or about my dad who's struggling, or the fear that I have that my children may grow up and use drugs.
What is going on? Are you high?
I like how it kind of talked about things that people don't normally talk about, and it just hit a place with me because my dad was an alcoholic and my mom's an alcoholic. So it's like, it's nice to see that like I'm not the only one dealing with problems within my family.
Far from it. What audiences don't realize up front is that the cast members themselves have also dealt with addiction in their own lives.
I identify as an alcoholic, but I mean, I beforehand in high school I got into trouble with pills, Vicodin, and Oxycontin, oxycodone.
Rachel Tondrell plays the role of Sylvia, the sister, and has been with COAST since the start.
My sister at the time was in recovery for a crack addiction, and she's still in recovery now. And when I first entered this company and I first started working on this project, I really was in the throes of my own alcoholism. I needed to help myself, and these people helped me.
For some cast members, it's not their own addiction, but that of a loved one that's got them involved here.
I don't know if I could have done it if my son's problem went the other way. You know, if he died, I don't know. I don't know if I could do it. I don't know if I could possibly address it.
Paul Kandarian's son, Paul, who served in Afghanistan, returned home with an opioid addiction. Today, he's in recovery, pursuing a degree in psychology, and is a frequent public speaker for COAST. For his dad, the play has been its own form of recovery.
The father's monologue at the end is virtually everything I said to my son over the years. So many parents later tell me they identify with it because they've been through it and they understand that. There's no more helpless feeling in the world than watching your kid die day by day and not being able to do a damn thing about it. And that's what makes this work so incredibly important, because it lifts the stigma from talking about it, because if we don't talk about it, it's not going to go away.
I really like the fact that they brought up that addiction is a disease. People come to us about their addiction, that we need to be open-minded, and I feel like that play really brought that attention to me.
How do you see what you're doing on stage as fighting back?
We're fighting stigma. If those of us struggling with addiction, or those of us who love people struggling with addiction, don't feel safe to ask for help, feel like we're going to be judged, then we're not going to get help.
And the play that COAST performs is called Four Legs to Stand On, and emphasizes how addiction affects not only the addict, but the entire family. You can find more information on COAST's upcoming schedule on our website. Up next, a terrible accident couldn't stop this farming family.